hands up, no turning back.
Welcome back, guys. You're tuning in to another episode of the Strive Tribe podcast, where we're all about here personal development, growth mindset, and fitness. With your host, as always, Devin Gonzalez. Nick should be hopping on one of these soon, so just stay with us. We're trying to conquer a lot of things at once, so don't think I'm the only host. I promise you, he is still a part of this just as much as I am. And I will definitely have him on here talking to you guys soon because I know you guys miss his beautiful voice. But today we have a requested topic, an exciting topic. And actually, I feel like a topic that is thought about by men, but a lot of men have that fear of actually asking about it, asking for help if they need it. So today's topic is actually about TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. Before we get into it, I just want to be clear on one thing. TRT, or, as a lot of people just think of it as, just steroids. It's not that. It is testosterone replacement therapy, right? It is not a shortcut, nor is it a cheat code, right? It's a legitimate medical intervention, essentially, that is designed to help, those dealing with low testosterone levels. As guys, it is a huge thing that, we actually face, when we do start hitting, late 30s, early 40s, and actually it depends on the person. Like, some people experience it before then. I know some people that experience it in their 20s. It's all genetic. But it is a serious therapy that it does require a thorough understanding of yourself and where your body is at genetically, hormonally, with professional guidance, right? This is not a bro code. You can do it, you need it, or my friend's doing it, so I need it because I have the same symptoms. No, you actually do have to go get tested by a doctor or a professional that is, licensed to do so. If you believe you might be suffering from low test, seek that help, seek that advice. But let's get into it a little bit again today, because I know that there are a lot of men out there that are thinking about it, or that have wondered about it, or have heard about it. So what is TRT? TRT is testosterone replacement therapy. Testosterone is a male hormone that this therapy aims to restore your natural levels of testosterone within a range, considered normal range. But testosterone is a hormone that is vital for several body functions, in men, from your mood regulation, your muscle mass, your bone density, sexual functions. When your levels drop, you might experience some symptoms like chronic fatigue, depression, reduced muscle mass, or having trouble adding muscle or strength. You might be also noticing increased body fat percentage. Now, in saying that isn't a shortcut or a easy way out. If you're eating like shit and you're drinking all the time or partying all the time and you're increasing your body fat, that doesn't mean you have low test. It just means you got a fucked up diet, right? So that means that you need to hop on, a meal plan. But if you're actually doing, the things right, like working out constantly, eating right, not drinking like crazy, and, actually contributing to those areas of your fitness and your health, and you're still noticing that, you're always tired and that you are actually losing muscle mass, or you can't gain muscle mass as easily as you used to, with the increase in body fat percentage, your tests might be low. So the benefits of TRT are numerous for those that are actually dealing with low test, but it can improve your mood, your energy levels. It can help you develop that muscle mass and decrease that body fat, as well as it can enhance, sexual functions or sexual, libido, that you might notice that, you just don't have the same drive. I know, as awkward as it can be to talk about with someone, but in reality, that's something that, us men do face. So TRT, for those that need it, can actually lead to an improved quality of life. It can lead to an increased self-confidence, an overall well-being. However, like any other medical treatment, I have to say that TRT does come with some potential side effects that you should, weigh into when you're considering doing it if you are eligible for it. Which, can range as simple as acne or, skin reactions, which could be on the minor side, or it could be, if you're more prone to acne from when you were growing up, it might be on the more serious side. But other things that you might notice if you're on TRT is, sleep apnea, decrease in, testicular size, sperm count, and it could actually lead to fertility. So it's one of those things where it's not something just to mess around with because you think it's a shortcut to, looking better and, gaining more muscle. That's not the reason I'm doing this podcast today. And that's not the reason that TRT is there. It's for those who actually need it. It can actually be a huge benefit, but realize all good things come with, that grain of salt that you got to weigh in. Not saying those things are going to happen with 100% certainty, but realize that, it is in the cards. So it's one of those things where you have to know all the potential goods and bads of something before jumping into it. Is it a short-term problem that you're looking to solve? And by doing this, you might create a long-term problem. And you don't want to, make any long-term decisions on a short-term problem, right? No long-term solutions for short-term problems because they can bite you in the ass later. But it is crucial that, to discuss these potential side effects with your doctor or, your healthcare provider that you're doing the tests with before you embark on this journey and actually proceed with the therapy. TRT isn't a universal solution for everyone, for all guys. It's especially for those diagnosed with low test levels by someone that, again, is a medical professional, not your friend from the gym that's on TRT or, the other dad that's, at the baseball field, with your little ones watching the game and him telling you why he's looking so great and feeling so great. If you're feeling any of those symptoms that I mentioned earlier, consult your doctor. Consult someone that is a licensed professional, because those are the ones that are going to be able to diagnose you anyways, so that you can take the proper course of action. It's important to know that when you are using TRT as like a performance enhancing substance, it's not only that it can be unethical, but it can also have severe health complications. So realize, before embarking on that journey, are you really doing it for health reasons or overall well-being reasons, or are you just doing it for the now, right? Because you want your goals faster. Realize that, I promise you, if that's the reason you're doing it, you're going about it the wrong way. But just remember that medical treatments like TRT are just one part of a comprehensive approach to health and wellness in general. It's not a standalone solution, right? It doesn't come with certainty, and it certainly doesn't replace the fundamentals of just an overall well-rounded, nutritious diet, regular exercise, sleep. I promise you, if you are noticing increased body fat or decreased mood or constant chronic fatigue, it could be your quality of sleep. Are you getting enough sleep, right? Because I know me personally, I don't get enough sleep, but that comes with the stage of, growing multiple businesses at once, and I'm okay with that. I know that, and I can operate off of little sleep. Should I be getting more? Yes. Do I plan to in the future? Yes. But am I going to use this tiredness and fatigue and, having to work harder in the gym because I know my sleep isn't, at its optimum point? Am I going to use that as an excuse to start doing TRT to feel better now? No. Right? Like, I know the reason why I have to work harder in the gym and that my body fat retention rate is going to be higher because I'm not getting the adequate amount of sleep. But that's not an excuse for me to do TRT. So with those kind of things, like, your diet, your exercise, your sleep, the other thing I would say is like your stress management. Realize that stress, the increase in stress from work, from family, from whatever, finances, stress has a huge role on your hormonal balance as well. So just realize that if you have been stressed, this last year, and I know everything with the pandemic, people were stressed out like crazy, but realize if you don't have an outlet, like for me, it's working out. Like when I'm stressed, I work out. But if you don't have that effective stress management protocol or system and processes of dealing with that, realize that could be one of the reasons why you're experiencing some of the symptoms of someone with low test. But again, even if you are in your mind dealing with the stress and stuff, and you think in your mind you're, have good diet, have good exercise, all that, speak to a professional about just looking at that first. Maybe before speaking to a professional about doing TRT, take a step back and look at and go, meet a trainer, a nutritionist, or, something like that can go over the fundamentals first with you. And if they're like, damn, yeah, you have everything in play, let's make some modifications and fine tune it and see what happens. And if after a few times of that, if it's not working, then, the alternative is maybe TRT or just doing a hormonal check. But again, it's one of those things where it shouldn't be your first solution. And it's definitely not a standalone solution, right? It's not the only and the best and holy grail of solutions. It's just one approach that your body may need, but it also may not need it. So make sure you speak to the professionals that can help you first. I recommend going to a trainer, have them look at your day. Talk to them about your day, right? From stress to diet to sleep to exercise, the whole nine. After that, make some adjustments, measure and track, see if there's improvement. If there's improvement, then I would stick to that and try to improve it that way a little bit first. If there isn't any improvement or there's a decline, even if you are doing all the right things, then see a medical professional. Just do the hormonal balance check, right? Get all your hormones tested, because it might not even be your test. It could be another hormone that's throwing it off as well. You don't really know. It could be your thyroid. It could be, so many other things. So like get your hormones checked. And then if it is the right fit, then TRT is completely fine. It's one of those things where it is there to be used when needed. But make sure you consult with the doctor, do your own research, consider your overall health goals and lifestyle and your overall well-being with the pros and cons both at mind. And then after all, if that is in the cards for you to hit your ultimate goal of enhancing your quality of life and well-being, then, play the hand that you have, play the hand with, but that is, kind of a quick overall TRT talk. And, if you guys have any more questions like that one, by all means, but this is going to wrap up our TRT talk for the day. And I really do appreciate the feedback that we got and the requests for this. So if you do have any more requests, go ahead and send us an Instagram DM. Let us know what you want us to cover to Strive11 Fitness on Instagram, which is STR11VE Fitness. And it's in the show notes as well. So you can always just click that and send us a DM. And, we'd be more than happy to cover any topic you guys would like. But remember, the Strive Tribe is all about understanding and making informed decisions about your health, your fitness, your well-being, and continuing to grow in a positive way, both mentally, physically, and emotionally. But this is your host, Devin. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Strive Tribe podcast, and keep striving, Tribe.